Welcome back. Welcome back. Perks Recap Podcast, Yankees baseball. This series against the Angels or the Orioles, I'm sorry, the series against the Orioles is what I'm going to be going over and give my thoughts on the team. Right now, it's hard to figure out this team. It really is. I thought that June swoon was going to last a lot longer, and I'm not convinced it's over, but you did win a series here against the Orioles. Not that they're a good team, so you got to keep that in mind as well. I guess the June swoon and the problems that they were having last week when they lost 7 in a row or 6 in a row, whatever it was. I think it was 6, and then they won one. The end of the Angels series to salvage one game in that one. I don't know if that's over or not. I don't know if the hitting is has recovered enough. It was very short if it is over, which I would really love, because these June swoons in really July, it's really like a summer swoon, to be honest. Uh, that's been happening. Usually it's a lot longer. Even last year when I thought they tempered it pretty well, they kept it to only maybe, I think it was like 2.5, 3 weeks maybe. And I thought that was pretty good that they kept it to that level where they played like, just garbage and couldn't hit anything and couldn't score any runs. And it was real tough to win even 1 out of 3 and, or, forget about winning a series. And that's been the case for 6 weeks, 8 weeks in the past. Last year was only 2 or 3. So I was impressed with that. If this is the only swoon they had, and it was a week long, it was 6 games, that'd be crazy. I don't know, to be honest. And let's be honest too. Right before the 6-game losing streak, they won a game 1-0. So it's not like they were hitting a lot right before it too. So regardless, though, you got to give them credit. They got off the mat and went back home. So got the home cooking there. But they started it right back with a loss, 5-3, the first game on Friday, the 20th. 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position, 10 men left on base. Now Max Fried goes 6 innings, gives up 3 runs, technically a quality start, 7 Ks. To me, Fried now has gone back to what he's always been, and that's not really a bad thing. For those that thought maybe we unlocked something in him and he was going to be a true ace, I think that was a little bit premature, and for whatever reason, it did work for the first couple months. He was a true ace, but he was a good pitcher playing great, and now he's a good pitcher pitching good. 6 innings, 3 runs. And this has been like 2 or 3 in a row now where he hasn't been quite as dominant, but still pitching good. I'm not going to complain about Max Fried. His ERA on the year is 2.05, so let's keep that in mind as well. And hopefully I'm wrong that he's not going to. I'm thinking this is what he's going to be the rest of the year. Maybe I'm wrong and he goes back to dominating again. That would definitely be welcome. That's for sure. Loizaga came in. His ERA on the year is 2.76. Weaver, that's where the game was lost. Weaver came off of DL ridiculously early, a 4 to 6 week prognosis on the IL, and he comes back in 3. So good on him for getting back in the lineup and getting back in the bullpen and available. But they brought him in for 2/3 of an inning. He gave up a couple runs. So, got to monitor that, make sure he's okay, and make sure this isn't a trend, something has happened to him in terms of his effectiveness. But I'm going to assume Weaver's Weaver. That was a hiccup, and it was his first game, and he'll be fine moving forward. So it was good to see him back. The results weren't what you wanted. The game was lost there. A 5-3 loss. Judge did hit his 27th home run, and he went 3 for 4. Jazz went 2 for 5 as well. DJ LeMahieu went 2 for 4. Nobody else got more than one hit. On to the 21st, and my guy, Schmitty. My guy, Schmitty. And he should be your guys too. Clark Schmidt, 7 innings, 7 and 2/3. Or was it 7? I think it was 7 and 2/3. Regardless. No hits at all. No hits given up whatsoever. It was 7. And there's people that are like mad at the fact that they took him out and didn't give him a chance to get the no-hitter. Hey, there's got to be special circumstances for a no-hitter to happen nowadays. First of all, a lot of them are combined no-hitters now. And also the fact that these guys don't last long. They don't go much over 100 pitches. They just don't. I mean, even back in the day when you're pitching, no hitters and perfect games, you're pitching 120, 110, 115, 120 pitches. Easy. And especially on a no hitter, a perfect game maybe you can get through with a lot less. But regardless, he went 7 innings and didn't give up a hit, and he had 103 pitches. And they had 2 innings to go, the 8th and 9th. There's no way if they stuck him in there to try to get that no-hitter, he would have pitched like 120 pitches, maybe more. And that's not going to happen. Clark Schmidt is never, ever, 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 ever pitching 120 pitches in a game. It's just not happening. So get that out of your mind. I have no problem with it because that's the philosophy now. That's how they do things. And I'm not going to complain about 7 innings and no hits. And he seemed okay with it too afterwards in the interviews. If he was at like 80 pitches, 85 pitches, I say throw him out there for the 8th. If you can get through the 8th real quick, then maybe we can try for the no hitter in the 9th. But he was at 103 already. I have no problem with them taking him out there. And of course, you bring in Brubaker, who's back with the team. He pitched the final 2 innings, but he gave up a hit, and the no-hitter was lost. But Clark Schmidt has been up and down a little bit, but more up than down, especially recently. And now he has his ERA under 3. His ERA is at 2.84. Can't complain about that. You go, Clark Schmidt. I've been one of your biggest supporters. Real happy about that. Yankees had 14 hits. They won the game 9-0. So this was the game that afterwards people were saying, okay, the slump is over. The June swoon isn't going to happen. Back in my mind was, okay, I can give you the game 9-0, but for me to be more convinced was going to be winning the series. They had to win the series. And I wasn't convinced they were going to do that. And if they lost this series, I'd still be thinking they're not right yet. They're still in the middle of the down period that they go through every year. Real quick in the Saturday game, the 9-0, when Grisham hit his 15th homer, Escar hit his 2nd, Rice hit his 13th, and Volpe hit his 9th. Volpe went 3 for 4, and it was big for Volpe to do that. He hasn't been good. He just hasn't been playing well. Even in the field, he's making errors, dumb plays. He's been getting caught stealing. And he was in the middle of an 0 for 24 slump. I mean, that's brutal. He breaks out of it and goes 3 for 4. Good for him. But another point of contention for people who just want to bang on Boone, and I'm not one of them, was the fact that Volpe didn't play on Sunday. He finally breaks out of the 0 for 24, and he didn't play on Sunday. But apparently before the 3 for 4 game on Saturday, on Thursday or Friday leading into that game, they already planned to give Volpe Sunday off to clear his mind because he was in such a bad slump. So him breaking out of it on Saturday didn't factor into the decision on Sunday, I don't think. Well, if it had factored into the decision on Sunday, he would have played. So they kept with their original plan of not playing him on Sunday. Peraza played. And Sunday was a 4-2 win. They didn't hit the cover off the ball or anything, but they won the series. So this is where the team is confusing. I hope that was it. That 6 game, and that was it. And we're going to be rolling the rest of the way and play good baseball through the summer. We'll have to see. I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if the swoon either happens again later on or continues coming up, or if it's over. Nothing at this point would surprise me with this team. I got to give Will Warren credit because on Sunday he went six and a third, 2 walks, 6 Ks. His ERA is under 5 now, 4.66. I really, really am impressed with Will Warren. Good on him. He's filled in admirably. He really has. Now that we lost Yarborough, we're going to have a new kid come up, and with Yarborough being on the IL, we're going to have a kid who's actually 28 years old. I'm forgetting his name. I apologize. I'm definitely forgetting his name. Rinnin or something like that. I don't know. Regardless, he's pitching on Monday against the Reds, and he's tearing up AAA, but he's 28 years old. He's like a late bloomer of some kind. So we'll have to see what he has to offer. I'll have his name down when we review the Cincinnati series. So Tim Hill also came in for 2/3. Fernando Cruz actually got the win. Came in, struck out the side. Good to see. Tim Hill's ERA is at 2.45. Cruz is at 3.26. And Devin Williams came in for the save and looked clean doing it. His ERA is down to 5.08. Still sounds bad, but it's much better than it was, as we all know. Jazz Chisholm had the big hit, big double in the 8th. And that was good to see, too, because in the late innings, for some reason, the Yankees don't seem to want to make any comebacks or win any games. It was good to see that it happened late, and they got the dub, and they won the series. So that's all you can ask for right now. Win the series. That's what they did. Now go beat the Reds. This is not going to be easy. The Reds are coached by Terry Francona, one of the greatest managers of all time, in my opinion. And I don't know. I don't know. I could see the series going either way. I really could. I don't think it'll be a sweep either way. I would love to win 2 out of 3. But the Reds are up next. I will be back with that series review as soon as it's over, as quick as I possibly can get it out. Hopefully you'll be there for that one. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let's go, Yankees. Let's not have this June swoon. Let's keep the good times rolling. Don't forget, guys, Perks Recap Podcast. Also, we'll be bringing you some football content coming up here soon, just to kind of give an update on things that have happened recently in the NFL. And then, of course, once the NFL season starts going, we have two NFL pods a week. But I'm going to continue doing the Yankee series recaps as we go. And we'll have Al on for some baseball in terms of the entire league, going over our predictions. Maybe around the All-Star break will be the next time we have a baseball podcast with Al and possibly Jordan as well, talking some baseball. But I'll be here after every Yankee series. Thank you for joining me. I will see you later.